Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. I hope you, Maharaj, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I don't know if you were informed by Ekendra Prabhu, but he asked me to host the class today.
Okay, very good.
So, Maharaj, would you like to say the Premadwani prayers?
Hey, Jai Om Vishnu Pad Purnahamsa Paripurajaka Ashtotra Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Raj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jayādvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Shamana Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande.
Haribol. So this is Shri Caitanya Caritamrita class by His Holiness Jayādvaita Maharaj, and it happens regularly on Thursdays, 7 p.m. New Jersey, United States of America time. So today we're going to begin with again Shri Caitanya Caritamrita Adi Lila, chapter 12, entitled Expansions of Advaita Acharya and Gadadhar Pandit. And the text for today, we begin with text, just a second. Yes, 18. So Maharaj, would you like to start us off?
No?
So should I read?
Okay, I'll start off. Krishna Mishra Namara Charja Tanai, Chaitanya Gosai Vaishe Yahar Hridoi. Krishna Mishra was a son of Advaita Acharya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always sat in his heart. Do you want to leave this closed or open? If we leave it open, we'll get some air. Report. Unless the noise is from that side. Of the 6 sons of Advaita Acharya, 3, Achyutananda, Krishna Mishra, and Gopal Das, lived faithfully in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Since Achyutananda did not accept a wife, he had no issue. The second son of Advaita Acharya, Krishna Mishra, had 2 sons, Raghunath Chakravarti and Dol Govinda. The descendants of Raghunath still live in Shantipur, in the neighborhood of Madan Gopal Pada, Ganakar, Mijapur, and Kumara Kali. Lord Govinda had three sons, namely Chanda, Kandarpa, and Gopinath. The descendants of Kandarpa live in Malda, in the village Jikabari, Jikabari. Gopinath had three sons, Sri Ballabh, Pranaballabh, and Keshav. Descendants of Sri Ballabh live in the villages known as Mashirara, Mashira Dera, Damukariya, and Chandipur. There's a genealogical table for the family of Sri Ballabh, beginning from his eldest son, Ganganaraya. The descendants of Sri Ballabha's youngest son, Ram Gopal, still live in Damukariya, Chandipur, Sholamari, and so on. The descendants of Pran Ballabh and Keshav live in Uttali. The son of Pran Ballabh was Ratneshwar, and his son was Krishna Ram, whose youngest son was Lakshmi Narayan. His son was Nabakishore, and Nabakishore's second son was Ram Mohan, whose eldest son was Jagabandhu, and whose third son, Veerachandra, accepted the sannyas order and established a deity of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Katwa. These two sons of Ram Mohan were known as Bhara Prabhu and Shota Prabhu, and they inaugurated the circumambulation of Navadip Dham. One may refer to the Vaishnav Manjusha for the complete genealogical table of Advaita Prabhu in the line of Krishna Mishra. Hare Krishna.
So, any comments or questions from the members of the Sangha related to the text Maharaj just read? If not, let's read text 19. And I see that Panchatattva Prabhu is here. Panchatattva Prabhu, do you mind reading text 19? You're on mute. We cannot hear you. You're on mute.
Chapter?
Adi Lila, chapter 12.
Chapter 12, text 19?
Exactly.
Okay. Shri Gopal Name Ar Acharya Rasuta Tahara Charitra Sunna Atyanta Adbhuta. Shri Gopal was another son of Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu. Now just hear about his characteristics, for they are all very wonderful. Purport. As mentioned above, Shri Gopal was one of the three devoted sons of Advaita Acharya. He is further described in the Madhya Lila of Caitanya Caritamrita, chapter 12, texts 143 through 149. Should I continue or any comments?
Any comment?
No, I
Nothing
don't
from
have anything. Guru Maharaj, would you like to? Okay.
Please,
Continue?
Panchatattva Prabhu, if I may ask, go ahead.
Okay. Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu sorry. Gundicha Mandire Mahaprabhu Sammukhe Kirtane Nartana Kare Banda Prema Sukhe. When Lord Chaitanya personally cleansed the Gundicha Mandir in Jagannath Puri, Gopal danced in front of the Lord with great love and happiness. Purport. The Gundicha Mandir is situated in Jagannath Puri, and every year Jagannath, Balabhadra, and Subhadra come there from the Jagannath temple to stay for 8 days. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived at Jagannath Puri, every year he personally cleansed this temple with his principal devotees. The Gundicha Marjana chapter of Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila chapter 12, describes this vividly. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Gurudasa Jayādvaita Swami Niti Namine Om Agyana Timarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshur Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So here we're having a mention of something coming up, the description of the cleansing of the Gundicha temple, and it's quite a subject because it goes deep into the purificatory process of Krishna consciousness and what that entails, as well as the cleansing of the temple. Just mentioning as a fond memory, back in the day when I was living in an ashram in the temple, we would observe the Gundicha Marjana by cleansing the temple. And it was always a really nice experience because typically we would have someone reading as while the cleansing is going on. And it turned out to be quite a delightful meditation because while cleansing the temple, we could understand that here is an opportunity to clean our hearts and come closer to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj, would you like to say something?
nothing to add.
Panchatattva Prabhu, if you do not mind, you can go on reading until text 27. It has a long purport, if I may ask.
Okay. Nana Babad Gama Dehe Adbhuta Nartan Duigo Shai Haribale Ananditaman. While Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Advaita Prabhu chanted the Hare Krishna mantra and danced, there were various ecstatic symptoms in their bodies, and their minds were very pleased. Nachite gopa haila murchita bhumita podila dehe nahika samvita. While all of them danced, Gopal, dancing and dancing, fainted and fell to the ground unconscious. Dukitahila acharya putrakalelaya raksha kare nishingher mantra apadiya. Advaita Acharya Prabhu became very unhappy. Taking his son on his lap, he began to chant the Nishinga mantra for his protection. Nana mantra padena acharya nahoy chetan acharyera dhuke vaishnav karena krandan. Advaita Acharya chanted various mantras, but Gopal did not come to consciousness. Thus all the Vaishnavas present cried in sorrow at his plight. Tabe Mahaprabhu Tara Rite Hasta Dhari Utaha Gopal Kaila Bala Hari Hari. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then put his hand on the chest of Gopal and told him, "My dear Gopal, get up and chant the holy name of the Lord." Utila Gopal Prabhur Sparsha Dhvani Shuni Anandita Haya Sabe Kare Hari Dhvani. When he heard this sound and felt the touch of the Lord, Gopal immediately got up, and all the Vaishnavas chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in jubilation. Acharyera Arputra Sri Balaram Arputra Swarup Shaka Jagadisha Nam. The other sons of Advaita Acharya were Sri Balaram, Swarup, and Jagadish. Purport. The Sanskrit book Advaita Charita states that Balaram, Swarup, and Jagadish were the fourth, fifth, and sixth sons of Advaita Acharya. Therefore, Sri Advaita Acharya had 6 sons. Balaram, Swarup, and Jagadish, being Smartas or Mayavadis, were rejected by Vaishnava society. Sometimes Mayavadis pose themselves as Vaishnavas, or worshippers of Lord Vishnu, but actually they do not believe in Lord Vishnu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for they consider demigods like Lord Shiva, Durga, the sun god, and Ganesh equal to him. They are generally known as Pankshapasika Smartas, and one should not count them among the Vaishnavas. Balaram had 3 wives and 9 sons. The youngest of his first wife was known as Madhusudana Goswami. He took the title Bhattacharya and accepted the path of the Smartas, or of the Smarta or Mayavad philosophy. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur notes that the son of Goswami Bhattacharya, Sri Radharaman Goswami Bhattacharya, refused the title Goswami because it is generally meant for sannyasis, those who have taken the renounced order of life. One who is still in family life should not misuse the title Goswami. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did not recognize the caste Goswamis because they were not in the line of the 6 Goswamis in the renounced order who were direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, namely Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Bhatta Raghunath Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that the Grihastha ashram, or the status of family life, is a sort of concession for sense gratification. Therefore, a Grihastha should not falsely adopt the title Goswami. The ISKCON movement has never conferred the title Goswami upon a householder. Although all the sannyasis we have initiated in ISKCON are young, we have awarded them the titles of the renounced order of life, Swami and Goswami, because they have completely dedicated their lives to preach the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions that not only do the householder caste Goswamis disrespect the title Goswami, but also, following the principles of the Smarta Raghunandana, they exhibit great foolishness by burning a straw image of Advaita Acharya in a Shraddha ceremony, thus acting like Rakshasas and disrespecting the Hari Bhakti Vilas, which is the guide for Vaishnavas. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that sometimes these Smarta caste Goswamis write books on Vaishnava philosophy or commentaries on the original scriptures, but a pure devotee should cautiously avoid reading them.
Any comment, Panchatattva Prabhu?
Just Srila Prabhupada is reaching out to us through the pages, through this purport, and protecting us from improper association and from misconception about who is a Vaishnava and who is not, and who is a Goswami and who is not. These are cautionary statements and reminding us this is how you follow, and if you don't observe these kinds of restrictions and don't take this kind of care, you put yourself in peril because you're not following the orders of this spiritual master as descending in Guru Parampara. So, cautionary statements. It's interesting that in the Caitanya Charitamrita, we find that these smarta sons of Advaitacharya are being mentioned, and in so doing, they're serving a purpose, actually, a preaching purpose. So we can understand, okay, we have to take care in our association, and in who we accept as a bona fide Vaishnava. It's also a reminder to those of us in the Grihastha ashram to recognize and respect those in the sannyasa ashram, and how they, just as they were respected by Srila Prabhupada, and that we should not pretend or assume that we are Goswamis, although we're expected, even as Grihastha householders, to follow the regular principles very strictly and be fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Still, we're in a different station. And at least for the purposes of these ashrams, we should understand that the sannyasi is considered the natural spiritual master of society. And we should give the proper respect and worship accordingly. Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj, would you like to say something?
I don't think I have much to add here. These are familiar topics for us. Nothing speaks about them often.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, we have posts in the chat. Ross Prabhu, please.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Why would Advaita Acharya Prabhu chant the Nrsimha mantra? Does that set any example for us?
Generally, Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Vittale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pujari Nirvishaya Shushani Rajpati. Generally, Nrsimha Dev is approached for protection. Allah the dying, protecting Prahlad Maharaj from Hiranyakashipu. So when Nrsimha Shananam, therefore, devotees approach Lord Nrsimhadev, who could be a greater protector than you. You have powerful lion, half lion, half man to protect us. There's no difficulty. So we hear that we hear devotees taking shelter from Nrsimhadev. Nothing wrong.
Looks like there's another comment there.
Yeah. Saraswati Mataji writes, Pranamas Param Puja Maharaj and all the Vaishnavas. What is the difference between the Swami and Goswami titles? Is there a reason why any children of Advaita Acharya, who is an incarnation of Mahavishnu, would be Mayavadis? In the Pushti Marg Sampradaya, the title Goswami is automatically given to the householder Acharya.
There's no difference, Swami or Goswami. Prabhupada awarded the Goswami title to mainly to those who had been householders and accepted sannyas. I think Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj was the first. He'd been a householder and Prabhupada gave him the title Goswami. Similarly, Satsrup Das Goswami. So, but he didn't always follow that. Sometimes Satsrup Swami. Yes. If that, then any reason why they would, in my bodies, the misuse of independence, the living entities can always misuse their independence. So 3 of them did and 3 of them didn't. It's their own individual business. The pushti mark, yes. Hey, but in the line of Rupa Goswami, these titles are reserved for the renounced order. Although sometimes we find it as a family title. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maybe you have someone who would like to read in your Sangha, but first I would like to invite Jova Nananda Mataji if she's able to read. If she can hear me. I guess not. So Maharaj, if you have anyone,
Yes, Jill will read.
please.
Kamala Kanta Vishwasa Nama Acharya Kinkar Acharya Vyavahara Sabha Danhara Gochar. Advaita Acharya's very confidential servant, named Kamala Kanta Vishwasa, knew all the dealings of Advaita Acharya. Purport. The name Kamalananda, mentioned in the Adi Lila 10.149, and the name Kamala Kanta, mentioned in the Madhya Lila 10.94, both refer to the same man. Kamala Kanta, a very confidential servant of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, born in a Brahmana family, engaged in the service of Sri Advaita Acharya as his secretary. When Paramananda Puri went from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri, he took Kamala Kanta Vishwasa with him, and they both went to see Lord Caitanya at Jagannath Puri. It is mentioned in the Madhya Lila 10.94 that one of the devotees of Lord Caitanya, the Brahmana Kamala Kanta, went from Paramananda Puri to Jagannath Puri. Lila chale tenho eka patrika likhya pratap parudrera pasha dila pataya. When Kamala Kanta Vishwasa was in Jagannath Puri, he sent a note through someone to Maharaj Prataparudra. Se patrira kata acharya nahi jane, kona pake se patri aila prabhustane. No one knew of that note, but somehow or other it reached the hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Se patrite lekha che eta likhana, Ishwaratve acharye kariya che stapana. That note established Advaita Acharya as an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kintu Tandra Deve Kichu Haiya Cherina Rina Sodi Bhare Chahi Tanka Satatina. But it also mentioned that Advaita Acharya had recently incurred a debt of about 300 rupees that Kamala Kanta Vishwasa wanted to liquidate. Patra Padiya Prabhura Mane Haila Duka Bahire Hasiya Kichu Bale Chandra Mukha. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became unhappy upon reading the note, although his face still shone as brightly as the moon. Thus smiling, he spoke as follows. Acharyere stapiyache kariya ishvara ite dosha nahi acharya. Ite dosha nahi acharya devata ishvara. He has established Advaita Acharya as an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is nothing wrong in this, for he is indeed the Lord himself. Ishvarera dainya kari kari ache biksha. Ataeva danda kari karaiba shiksha. But he has made the incarnation of Godhead a poverty-stricken beggar. Therefore, I shall punish him in order to correct him. Purport. To describe a man as an incarnation of God, or Narayan, and at the same time present him as poverty-stricken is contradictory, and it is the greatest offense. The Mayavadi philosophers engaged in the missionary work of spoiling the Vedic culture by preaching that everyone is God, describe a poverty-stricken man as Daridra Narayana, or poor Narayana. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never accepted such foolish and unauthorized ideas. He strictly warned, Mayavadi Bhashya, Shunile Haya Sarva Nasa. Anyone who follows the principles of Mayavada philosophy is certainly doomed. Such a fool needs to be reformed by punishment. Although it is contradictory to say that the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his incarnation is poverty-stricken, we find in the revealed scriptures that when the Lord incarnated as Vamana, he begged some land from Maharaj Bali. Everyone knows, however, that Vamana Dev was not at all poverty-stricken. His begging from Maharaj Bali was a device to favor him. When Maharaj Bali actually gave the land, Vamana Dev exhibited his all-powerful position by covering the three worlds with 3 steps. One should not accept the so-called Daridra Narayanas as incarnations because they are completely unable to show the opulence of the genuine incarnations of God.
This is mental concoction. Someone who's engaged in the missionary program of spoiling the Vedic culture has some ideas about social upliftment and about social upliftment and humanitarian or philanthropic work. And so to promote that agenda comes up with a term like this, Daridra Narayan. People do this. They come up with names like euphemisms. In India now, the current euphemism for a person who used to be called crippled and then became called disabled and then differently abled is Divyanga. Divyanga, which means having divine limbs. So a person who has like no arms or legs is called Divyanga. So in this way, we come up with terms that try to, euphemistically present things. So some mental speculator comes up with this idea, Daridra Narayan, just as the crippled person has divine limbs, so the poor person is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. This is not only ludicrous, but offensive to present the poverty-stricken person as God. Narayan is the husband of Lakshmi. He is the reservoir of all wealth, and one presents a poor man as Narayan, just out of sentiment. And Prabhupada points out if the poor man there's a Daridra Narayan, then it might be a Dhani Narayan. Rich man is a Dhani Narayan, rich Narayan, and the other is a poor Narayan. Someone, I guess you get a middle class Narayan, and so on. And this is all in line with the Mayavadi idea that anyone is Narayan. And so this is all rubbish. Yeah, then pointed
Yes.
out. Yes.
Yes, Maharaj, we have posts in the chat.
Yeah, the Gandhiji coined the term Harijan for the lower caste untouchables. as if just being lower caste made you somehow or other very dear to God, made you one of the intimate associates of God. No, one becomes Harijan by devotional service. He may be rich, he may be poor, but if he's a devotee, then he's here to the Lord. To make these idols somehow or other, again, by the social engineering agenda, just winds up in causing offenses and confusion. We should not manufacture titles out of sentiment.
And Panchatattva Das Prabhu writes, Prabhupada uses a very sarcastic and simultaneously damning expression when he writes, quote, engaged in the missionary work of spoiling the Vedic culture, close quote.
We have to be careful. This missionary work of philanthropy and altruism and so on is very much beloved of governments and people in general. And so the tendency is to want to satisfy those people by engaging in missionary work, which is aimed at material improvement. But Prabhupada didn't think highly of this. It might get us government appreciation or what have you. But Prabhupada didn't like it.
And Saraswati Devidasi Mataji writes, this is a question, could Kamalakanta have thought begging for alms or money is permissible by Brahmanas?
It is. But I don't understand what the problem is there. Brahmanas can beg, that's all right. But that wasn't the problem. The problem that was that Kamalakanta Vishwas was presenting Advaita Charya on two platforms, simultaneously saying he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then on the other side saying he's a debtor. He needs money. So that's the contradiction. Otherwise, if Kamalakanta had wanted to beg, it's a problem, he could have begged. But that's not the objection.
Yes, Maharaj. Should we go on to the next verse?
I think we should.
Yes. May I invite a devotee from the Zoom Sangha? Or do you have any other devotee with you for the reading?
We have one more.
Please, Maharaj.
Govindera Akyavila Ina Jayādvaita Bauliya Vishwase Eta Nadi Be Ashrite. The Lord ordered Govinda, from today on, do not allow that Bauliya Kamalakanta Vishwasa to come here. Purport. The Bauliyas or Baulas are one of the 13 unauthorized sects that pass as followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord ordered Govinda, person not to allow Kamalakanta Vishwas to come into his presence because he had become a Bauliya. Thus, although the Baula Sampradaya and Sahajiya Sampradaya, as well as the Smartas, Jata Gosais, Ativadis, Chudadharis, and Goranga Nagaris claim to belong to the disciplic succession of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord actually rejected them. 37. Danda Shuni Vishwas Aila Para Madhukrita Suniya Prabhura Danda Acharya Harshrita. When Kamalakanta Vishwas heard about this punishment by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very unhappy. But when Advaita Prabhu heard about it, he was greatly pleased. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 9:29, the Lord says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name devashosti na priyaha. I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. The Supreme Personality of Godhead being equal to everyone, no one can be his enemy, nor can anyone be his friend. Since everyone is a part or son of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord cannot be partial and regard someone as a friend and someone as an enemy. Thus, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu punished Kamalkant Vishwas by no longer allowing him to come into his presence, although the punishment was actually very hard on him, Sri Advaita Prabhu, understanding the inner meaning of such punishment, was happy because he appreciated that the Lord had actually favored Kamalkant Vishwas. Therefore, he was not at all unhappy. Devotees should always be happy with all the dealings of their master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee may be put into difficulty or opulence, but he should accept both as gifts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and jubilantly engage in the service of the Lord in all circumstances.
This is the business of the devotees. Whether the Lord blesses them or smashes them, they're not happy. If the Lord chastises them or praises them, they're happy. They just pray, please don't neglect me. The devotee doesn't want to be neglected by Krishna, but if Krishna reprimands him or praises him, either way it's good. So devotees should always be happy with all the dealings.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. I'm going to invite a devotee.
We have a question here.
Of course.
Yes.
So you said, Lord, put the devotees in either situation or so-called opulent or so-called punished.
Louder, please.
Lord, put the devotees in either situation. Devotees are always happy.
Yes.
But how do we understand that it's not Lord's arrangement, it's our stupidness that we are so-called in this situation?
Anyone, even if it's our stupidness, will go on chanting Hare Krishna and be happy.
If I may, Maharaj, Madan Gopal Prabhu, are you able to read? If you can hear me. Guess not. Sarasvati Devi Dasi Mataji, are you able to read?
Yes, text.
Oh, please.
विश्वास करे कहे तुम्ही बड़ा भाग्यवान तुम्हारे करीले दंड प्रभु भगवान. Translation: Seeing Kamalakant Vishwasa unhappy, Advaita Acharya Prabhu told him, "You are greatly fortunate to have been punished by the Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu." Purport: This is an authoritative judgment by Sri Advaita Prabhu. He clearly advises that one should not be unhappy when reverses come upon him by the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee should always be happy to receive the fortune awarded him by the Supreme Lord, which seems pleasant or unpleasant according to one's judgment.
Any comment?
Yeah, sort of. It just reminds me of when Lord Nityananda Prabhu was hangry when at Sivananda Sena and cursed that his sons would die, which it really upset Shivananda Sena's wife. But Shivananda Sena, he understood that whatever blessing or curse that the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives, on the absolute platform, it's all favorable. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, any comment?
No.
Thank you very much. You're most kind. So I'm going to invite Priti Purna Mataji, if you're able to read.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please.
And text 39. Purve Mahaprabhu more kare na sammana, dukh paya mane ami kailun anumana. Formerly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always respected me as his senior, but I did not like such respect. Therefore, my mind being afflicted by unhappiness, I made a plan. Mukti Shrestha Kari Kainu Vashishtha Vyakhana Kruddhana Prabhu More Kaila Apamana. Thus I expounded the Yoga Vashisht, which considers liberation the ultimate goal of life. For this, the Lord became angry at me and treated me with apparent disrespect. But told by Srila Prabhupada, there is a book of the name Yoga Vasishta that Mayavadis greatly favor because it is full of impersonal understandings regarding the Supreme Personality of Godhead with no touch of Vaishnavism. Factually, all Vaishnavas should avoid such a book. But Advaitacharya Prabhu, wanting punishment from the Lord, began to support the impersonal statements of the Yoga Vasishta. Thus, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became extremely angry at him and seemingly treated him disrespectfully. Prabhuji, should I read next verse or stop?
Do you have a comment?
No, Prabhuji.
So let's see if Maharaj has any contribution. Maharaj, do you have? No, Maharaj doesn't. So yes, please go ahead. Priti Purna
Dandapana.
Mataji.
Text 41. Dandapana haila mora parama ananda. Ye danda paila bhagyevan Shri Mukunda. When chastised by Lord Chaitanya, I was very happy to receive a punishment similar to that awarded Sri Mukunda. Purport: Sri Mukund, a great friend and associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, used to visit many places where people were against the Vaishnava cult. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to know of this, he punished Mukund, forbidding him to see him again. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was soft like a flower, he was also strict like a thunderbolt, and everyone was afraid to allow Mukund to come again into the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mukund, therefore, being very sorry, asked his friends whether he would one day be allowed to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When the devotees brought this inquiry to Lord Chaitanya, the Lord replied, Mukund will get permission to see me after many millions of years. When they gave this information to Mukund, he danced with jubilation, and when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that Mukund was so patiently waiting to meet him after millions of years, he immediately asked him to return. There is a statement about this punishment of Mukund in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhyakand, 10th chapter.
Any comment?
So, in bhakti, patience is also a key, like Sri Rupa Swami describes in Nectar of Instruction. I find this always very inspiring when I hear about this wait time. Yes, Maharaj.
Your audio went out.
Is it better now?
Now it's fine.
Okay. So I find this wait time that is present between the reciprocation of the Lord and the devotee, very inspiring. When we hear of these descriptions in Srimad Bhagavatam, like we have in our Srimad Bhagavatam, where Dhruv Maharaj was doing tapasya for 6 months, whereas we also have tapasya which was performed by Lord Shri Krishna's parents in their previous birth for thousands of years. Similarly, there are so many instances where there is a time in between Lord increases the devotees' feelings for him during this time. The devotee is waiting for the Lord's mercy. So when we are practicing bhakti, we sometimes wait for we perform bhakti and then we are expecting results very soon. That I am practicing since last 5 years, 10 years, but I am still not uh, getting the expected result. But that should also these pastimes should also increase our faith on the process. uh, that Lord tests us. He increases our desire to have him during this wait time. He wants to see this lolyam, that we have to have him, the desire to have him. Hare Krishna.
Morning, I spoke.
Yes. Maharaj, any comment?
Yeah, this morning one disciple of Caitanya Maharaj spoke with me. Maharaj had blasted her, said something like she couldn't make spiritual advancement or something like that. And she couldn't cope with it, all depressed or whatever. But it's a blessing. The spiritual master smashes you or he praises you. Either one is appreciated. And Prabhupada said that during the time of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta used to regularly blast his disciples. Prabhupada said those were our glory days. Those were our glory days. So it's a blessing. The spiritual master praises or smashes. Both are good.
Yes, and there is a post by Saraswati Devidasi Mataji. Preachers have to meet all kinds of people, including Mayavadis, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also met Mayavadis and ordered his devotees to preach and convert all to Vaishnavism. So why is he angry at Mukunda?
It doesn't seem that Mukunda was there to distribute books or preach Krishna consciousness. He was just hanging out with the wrong people, with the Mayavadis. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disapproved. I think that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disapproved. Why are you associating with these people?
Yes, Maharaj, thank you very much. We are 5 minutes to the end of the class, so if I may, I think it's time for the closing kirtan. Do you have anyone with you for performing the closing kirtan?
Yeah, we're on.
So please, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paripajikacharya Stotra Shri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai, Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Gamai Ki Jai, Brahmanamai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Thank you all. Thank you to Saraswati for your note. Yes, my back is gradually improving. And it's very warm here in Sydney at the moment, and there's no fan in this room. So it's there's always one or another misery for the embodied soul. What can be done? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. And Panchatattva, I'll call you after the class.
Thank you, Guru.
All right. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Advaita Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai.
Jai.
Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Holiness Jayādvaita Swami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.